Good afternoon, everyone. This is my instructional video on how to be a PNA on the 5th floor or any floor. You may be wondering and asking yourself, what is a PNA? A PNA is a patient nutrition assistant that oversees taking patient orders. They also document what the patient had eaten. They also document how much they've eaten. If the patient has a calorie count, they document that as well. And the patient may also have open items on their tray or items that need open that the PNA will then have to help open as well. A PNA is a patient nutrition assistant. And they interact with patients and their families, so you have to have good repertoire. Patient nutrition assistants are great customer service representatives, and you have to be a personal person. So you want to make sure that you are talking to the patients, not making them feel bad about themselves. They don't want to be in the hospital, so you honestly have to make them feel better about being here, because they don't want to be here, and you would want them to be at home as well. If it was your grandparent or mother or father, sibling, child, you would not want to see them lying in a hospital bed, so you have to make it better for them. There are so many diets that patients can be on, anywhere from general all the way to pureed, minced and moist, soft and bite-sized, fiber restricted, phosphorus restricted, clear or full liquids, and renal, and there's also guest menus. Why I chose to do an instructional video on how to be a PNA on the 5th floor. I work on the 5th floor at the hospital that I work for. It is the pulmonary rehab floor. The pulmonary rehab floor gets patients anywhere from dementia to overdosed patients obviously who have lung issues. We've had some heart failure patients because they also have lung issues with that as well, and just many varieties. However, the 5th floor also gets a lot of patients that need help assist feeding, meaning the tech or nurse has to watch them eat and or help them eat. So the best way that I have found that helps on the 5th floor is to time out those trays. You do not want to have, if you were a tech or a nurse, you would not want to have to feed X, Y, and Z patient all at the same time. That's not possible. You can't be in more than one place at once. As much as you would like to be, that is not an option. So you need to set out those trays for different times. I like to do half an hour to hour intervals in between. A lot of times, especially in the morning, patients are still tired and sleepy, so them getting their breakfast right away is not a big issue. Same with lunch, because if they ate their breakfast late, they're not going to want their lunch right away. Our lunch times, my shift is at 5:30. And I'm a transporter, so I deliver trays to the whole tower and the mom section from 5:30 to 6:30, and then at 6:30 I go to my floor. I generally start getting breakfast orders, anywhere from 7 to 7:30. That gives the techs time to get their blood sugars and everything that they need to get done. And then I get breakfast orders. I'm usually done taking and most of the time delivering trays by 8:30 in the morning, and then I have to have trays picked up and downstairs by 10 a.m. And like all the dirty trays downstairs by 10 a.m. And then I go to lunch from 10:30 to 11, which is in between meal times, and then I start getting lunch orders usually at 11:30, again giving the techs and nurses that half an hour window to get their patients' blood sugars checked and everything like that, because most patients have to have their blood sugar checked if they're diabetic before they eat. And then I will get orders. I usually have my orders done and collected by 12:30, and then I collect trays and have to have the cart down by 2, and my shift is over at 2. So generally I try to get my trays down by 1:30, so then I have 30 minutes to document everything. Documenting is key. You have to make sure you're documenting. If you have a calorie count and you do not document it beforehand, your shift, and it ends up going over to the next person's shift, you have to let them know that tray is out, because calorie counts are extremely important. Need to know any more information about being a PNA? I'll gladly answer that for you. You guys have a great day.